Go ahead, boys. We're going to start taking these restraints off of you. What we'll do, I'll have you put your hands up on the counter, okay?
Alright, I need you to lift your left foot up a little bit so I can get this shackle off you. Alright, still a bit right. Please drag one on this side.
Yeah. Just place that hand up there.
Here, please just stand still for a second. Hands up, please.
Yeah.
The next morning, Saturday, May 3rd, deputies took Rodney Hinton to court to answer to the aggravated murder charge.
He's down. Yeah.
Do your hands for me?
All right. Let's go back this way, sir.
I got one of these.
Turn around to the back of the van for me, please. You have to watch stuff getting up there and keep your head down so that you know I'm not popping out on the top of the van, okay? And I'll seatbelt you in once we get you in. Just take your time. I got your back and for balance. I got your back. Watch your head. You have to have a seat there for me. Good? Watch yourself. Do me a favor, just turn your head to the right. Turn your head, I'm sorry, to your left. Lift your hands. You good?
The deputies make the 40-minute or so drive to the courthouse for the arraignment.
You
guys know I'm live. Just saying.
Ready? Come on now. Watch your head. Watch your head. Okay, ready? Step down slow. Okay, with this deputy right here, okay?
Come forward a little bit. He's gonna shut the door. Good.
Inside the courtroom, a wall of deputies, colleagues of Larry Henderson's, lined the courtroom. As Hinton was led out of court, he muttered something to the deputies that sounds like going to be gone forever. To the Clermont County Jail.
Your chest. Your knee. Alright. Take a moment, stretch out. Let me grab this round. Take a moment, stretch out. Watch your head, watch your head. Hold it, stretch you down. Ready? Take your time, take your time. Ready? Yep. You alright?
Mr. Bennett, at the prior hearing before today.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
Have a seat, sir.
Then a detective testified about what he says Hinton did last Friday when he drove into Deputy Henderson.
Tell me what he did after he stopped.
So based on witness statements as well as the video, the vehicle accelerated quickly, proceeded eastbound, crossed into the oncoming lanes of traffic when there was no longer traffic to obstruct his travel. Crossed into the oncoming lanes of traffic, went to the left of those.
Court is now in session. Judge Tyrone Yates is presiding this morning. We ask that you turn off all cell phones. You may be seated. Please remain quiet during all proceedings.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. First case on the docket is going to be Rodney Hinton.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Hinton. Good morning.
He said good morning, Judge. He's very soft-spoken.
Okay, all right. Thank you. All right, anything as to probable cause?
Your Honor, we'll waive probable cause this morning. I have submitted designations for John Kennedy and Timothy Bignell. They will be the attorneys of record handling Mr. Hinton's case. I'll be handling the arraignment this morning.
All right, thank you. Mr. Prosecutor, or anything as to bond?
As to bond, Your Honor, thank you. Your Honor, we understand this is a very, very serious, very terrible charge that Mr. Hinton is facing. He has but he does not have a history, Judge. He has no felonies in his record. His recent sentence score was a 1. He had no juvenile record. He works at UDF. He's married. He's a father. He's a graduate of Purcell Marion. I understand that this is an emotionally charged situation. I understand that Mr. Hinton's son may have been killed by the police earlier in the week. There was a review of that video. I understand that there is a lot of sadness and a lot of anger in this room right now, but in the community at large. And we're just asked the court to set a reasonable bond in light of everything to allow the constitutional process to play out.
All right, thank you. Andy, you've given me a pre-trial services sheet. Is that right this morning? All right, the court has had a chance to review that and his past history. Is there anything from the state through the prosecutor?
Yes, Your Honor. Ryan Nelson on behalf of the prosecution.
Could you give us more volume, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Ryan Nelson on behalf of the prosecution. What we believe that the evidence will show is that yesterday, on or about the 2nd of May, the defendant was traveling, I believe it would be eastbound on Martin Luther King Avenue at MLK, I believe at Burnett Woods, at the intersection, I believe immediately north to the rear entrance of the University of Cincinnati. The defendant stops his car. The defendant, in a way that was calculated and premeditated, lined up his car, deliberately accelerated his car, and purposely caused the death of an on-duty deputy sheriff who was doing a detail at that intersection. As such, we are going to be seeking indictment for aggravated murder, and we would request, in accordance with ORC 2937-222, for a no bond hearing. That rule requires that hearing be set within 3 business days, so we are seeking to set that date on the 6th of May of 2025. That'll be next Tuesday.
Much love and long life to all lovers of truth and advocates of justice, as we revisit what happened 7 months ago in a case that still weighs heavily today, where you see our brother Rodney Hinton Jr. walking out of that courtroom with his head held high, shoulders back, chest out, and chin up, despite a clear attempt by the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department to intimidate him. A moment that shocked many then and still resonates now, especially considering he was charged in connection with the death of a deputy just 1 day after Cincinnati police shot and killed his son, a shooting that eyewitnesses immediately disputed by stating the young man did not have a gun in his hands as police initially claimed. And before we revisit the news coverage surrounding the case, it's important to remember the atmosphere inside that courtroom, an overwhelming law enforcement presence that raised serious questions, with dozens of deputies present for no legitimate reason, something rarely seen and even acknowledged by the judge, who went so far as to question whether Rodney would be safe in custody, knowing he was being held in Clermont County, an area with a well-known and deeply troubling reputation confirmed by people familiar with the region, a county with a long history, extreme racial imbalance, and an environment that made safety a real concern, especially when you watch officers attempting to intimidate him as he exited, only to see him stand firm without flinching, staring them down without fear, while the court ordered no bond at the time, citing how emotionally charged and tragic the circumstances were. And now, 7 months later, with the case still unfolding and critical questions unanswered, the concerns surrounding fairness, safety, and accountability remain just as pressing as they were that day, which is why it's necessary to revisit the coverage and then carefully examine what the family's attorney revealed about the moments leading up to the deputy's death.
Of today's vehicle that struck a deputy has a family relationship with the 18-year-old that we shot yesterday.
At a makeshift memorial growing in Corryville after a Hamilton County deputy was hit by a vehicle and killed on Friday afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brittany Harry. Right now, that deputy has not yet been identified. The man accused of causing his death, Rodney Hinton Jr., appeared in court this morning. Our Alexis Martin has the latest on what happened in the courtroom this morning. So, Alexis, a lot of deputies were also in that courtroom. Rodney Hinton Jr. appeared in court today for his arraignment less than 24 hours after police say he intentionally murdered a Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy. The crash happened 1 day after Rodney's 18-year-old son, Ryan Hinton, was killed by a Cincinnati police officer in East Price Hill. Today, prosecutors argued that Hinton should be held without bond in what the defense is calling an emotionally charged situation. Sheriff's deputies lined a Hamilton County courtroom today in support of the deputy who was killed while the man accused of killing him faced a judge.
I understand there's a lot of sadness and a lot of anger in this room right now, but in the community at large.
38-year-old Rodney Hinton Jr. is accused of aggravated murder after police say he intentionally hit and killed the deputy on Friday around 1 o'clock at Martin Luther King Drive and Burnett Woods Drive. CPD says the deputy was working in detail right outside of UC's campus when Hinton hit him with his car. The crash happened 1 day after Rodney's 18-year-old son, Ryan Hinton, was killed in a shooting involving Cincinnati police.
I understand that this is an emotionally charged situation.
Prosecutors argue no bond should be set. They say the crash appears to be intentional. Court documents say Rodney drove eastbound across oncoming traffic lanes through the intersection and directly at the deputy, who was wearing a uniform and a bright fluorescent vest.
There are no evidence of skid marks. There are no evidence that he tried to avoid him. It appeared from everybody who was on the scene that he deliberately struck the deputy in an attempt to kill him.
Hamilton County Municipal Judge Tyrone Yates says the circumstances are unusual and tragic and ordered no bond for Hinton until his bond hearing on Tuesday. He's being held in the Clermont County Jail right now out of safety concerns. Reporting in studio, I'm Alexis Martin, Fox 19 Now.
The attorneys for the family of Ryan Hinton released a statement today. It says in part, prior to the crash, the family, including Ryan's father, Rodney, attended a meeting with Cincinnati police to view body camera footage of Ryan's death. The statement says Rodney left after that meeting and was not heard from until, quote, learning about the tragic incident involving a law enforcement officer who was working a traffic detail near the university. The statement goes on to say, quote, on behalf of Ryan Hinton's family, we offer our heartfelt condolences to the family and colleagues of the officer who was killed yesterday. This is an unimaginable tragedy for this community. Ryan Hinton's family is heartbroken by this tragic turn of events.
Now, 7 months after everything unfolded, the attorneys for the family of Ryan Hinton released a statement that still echoes today, explaining that Rodney had attended a meeting with police to view body camera footage of his son's death just hours before the tragedy involving the deputy, that he left afterward and was not heard from until learning what had happened. And while the family expressed condolences to the deputy's loved ones, what remains deeply troubling is the silence from law enforcement toward the Hinton family, a double standard that has only grown more apparent as the case moves slowly through the courts, with hearings continuing, bond decisions still weighing heavily, and no clear resolution yet in sight, making it necessary to revisit this moment not just as breaking news from months ago, but as an ongoing reminder of grief layered on grief, unanswered questions, and a system that many feel still has not fully addressed the pain, loss, and circumstances surrounding this case. As this case continues to unfold months later with key questions still unanswered, we'll keep revisiting the facts, the voices, and the truth that too many want forgotten. So drop your thoughts in the comments, share your perspective respectfully, and make sure you like, subscribe, and stay locked in for continued updates and real coverage as this story develops.